This is music that's made up of different sounds. There's no melody or harmony. There are many new ways of thinking about musical sounds.
In 22, you don't have like this. What do you do when I
Yes,
have...
I do have some of those in 22, or at least I could. I've got a couple of very thick figures. My last one was with the tritone.
Yeah.
This music is only partly composed. One of the composer's instructions is that the musicians select the order of the sounds, partly by chance, the way a knight moves in a chess game. The squares are then cut apart and arranged in the order chosen. The squares contain only rough directions about the sounds. If the musician is a pianist, he might play this. If he's a percussionist, he may choose these sounds.
But like when I do this, the cluster that's cut away, the sawtooth cluster,
Yes.
I do.
I have just the reverse. You have that in 22?
In 21.
In 21.
And in 22 you have the reverse?
I start off with a thin line, and then I add to that. The could do. And then it's thick after that. It starts with thin line and then a very thick line continuing.
But it just should seem that like 20, 21, and 22 are really, you know, the same materials being turned around different ways between the two of us. Let's take it from where we started before.
Here is another way of thinking about musical sounds.
Look, the idea is that there's this screen of these three people playing these pitches, you know, clowning these pitches, and the other two have to sort of feel as if you're always piercing that screen more, coming on both sides. Can we try that again?
To some extent, this music has been planned in advance, but the performers are choosing sounds of their own to suit the conductor's signals. Sometimes musicians make new sounds by changing old instruments. Another way of getting new sounds is by making new kinds of instruments. Many new sounds are made electronically. Ordinary musical sounds can be made to sound quite different. New sounds can be produced entirely by electronic means. Here's another kind of new music, in which the composer gives only general directions. These people are both the performers and the audience. They are asked to go out and record interesting sounds.
And as soon as you have them finished, bring them back.
Okay.
Then we'll process them. Red group should go together. Yeah. And yellow and the blue group. Just record your sound. Come back.
Come on.
When the groups return, the composer directs that their tapes be played back to them.
So where did you go? What was the...
As they listen to the tapes, they hold a discussion about what they heard.
What did you get?
Bulldozer.
Bulldozer.
Primarily, gas-run engines.
Everything that happens here is part of the music. Recording sounds, listening to sounds, talking about sounds. Another person is assigned to find interesting radio and television sounds. Changing the speed and loudness of the tape produces new sounds. When the red tape is finished playing forward, the composer directs that it be turned around and played backwards.
And I started hearing the same kinds of things that he had talked about and the same kinds of things that he'd tried to recapture in his music. You know, like, you walk into this classroom and you hear the professor speaking, and you hear people coughing and sneezing and paper rustling, and it was like, you know, the whole room became a sound.
This is a music synthesizer, an electronic instrument that can be used to alter sounds or make new sounds of its own. By setting up this series of chance surprises in sound, the composer has allowed these people to think about music and listen to sounds in a new way. Electronic instruments provide one more step in the search for new sounds in music. They allow the composer the control he needs to create any combination of sounds imaginable.